Hey, what's up, man? How's your day been?
Hey, doing good, man. It's been kind of crazy around here, staying busy. Oh, we're looks like we're on the air now. So, hey, just wanted to thank you guys for stopping in with the webinar. You got myself, Tyler Triplett, and Chad Bradshaw. Chad, how's things going over here in your neck of the woods?
It's going pretty good over here today. So far, so good.
Good
How
deal.
about you?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's staying kind of busy. Just actually getting people left and right. Just this one week, I had 77 people coming in for the rent to own program in just one particular area. It's been a very hot commodity, and
Wow.
yeah, it's been a challenge just to try to keep up for the demand. But I will tell you this: it is definitely the reason why people are choosing it because it makes, as you already know, it makes it easy for people to find that path to home ownership.
Looks like we got some people dropping in. Where are you from, Johnny? Hey, from Phoenix. Okay, not bad.
So yeah, so just so
Yeah.
you guys know, I'm over here in Fort Myers, Florida. Chad, you're in San Antonio, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm over in San Antonio.
Okay, cool,
Yep,
cool.
serving Austin and Houston areas.
Yeah, so everybody just kind of drop where you're at as the other person that just came in. I see Taylor right here in the Fort Myers area. That's cool. So hey, that's right next to me. And then also I got looks like Christina all the way in San Diego, California. Nice. Thank you for joining in. Huh. Must be
Oh man, I
waking
want
up.
to go to San Diego. I haven't been
Yeah,
there in a minute.
it's nice over there, right?
Hey,
Who
Chris,
else?
where are you from? Oh, Houston. Okay, that's right in my backyard.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah. I'm looking at Marshall and Oklahoma City. Let me think here. Let's see. Huh. Everybody's just kind of dropping in. I can't keep up with all the. Let me see if I can scroll to keep up with one. Uh, Spencer, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh
Thank,
wow.
thank you guys. I mean, they're all over the place right now. They're just
We got Robert. Where you at, Robert? Lakeland, Florida. Oh, okay. That's over in your side of the.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's not too far. That's not too far. We can service that area. That's kind of cool.
well,
So
you want to jump in here? Let's
yeah, yeah.
go.
Everybody's kind of you guys keep it
Yeah.
coming. Whatever the case may be, we're here to help you out. So just a little bit of a background. Start with us. Meet the speaker, so to speak. No pun intended. Uh, you just come in and essentially you can Chad. I'll let you kind of go ahead and talk about yourself, and then I'll kind of after that talk let you know my
Yeah,
background.
just a very brief introduction here. My name is Chad Bradshaw. I run a veteran-owned real estate company here in San Antonio, Texas, but I serve Houston as well as Austin areas and Corpus Christi, the coastal bend. Um, if you know, if there's a way to help anybody in this webinar today move forward, I'm definitely the guy to do it. In the last 2 years, I've sold 40 houses, over $8 million worth of inventory overall. Um, it's been a challenging journey through COVID, but now we're coming out the other side of it, and that's what we put this together for. Quickly, background technology, marketing, background as well as Air Force for 10 years. Served the country doing transportation across this internationally, as well as a tour in Iraq. So learned a lot, grew up quick, and been doing this for a little while. But my brother Tyler over there in Florida, we've known each other for what, she's 20 years. So go ahead and introduce yourself on that note.
All right, all right. So just so you guys know, you'll see us kind of bouncing around here. But just to let you guys know that, so yeah, Chad and I have definitely known each other for a long time. I have been in digital marketing for probably at least 5 to 7 years now, I would say. And basically got into real estate. And in the past 2 years, I've probably closed over 100 transactions roughly, closing different ones. I've grown into a team now, so I have like 5 or 6 people on my team that basically who I work alongside of to get more deals and help more people in basically what's going on right now with either rent to own or even regular transactions, depending on everybody's scenario, of course. But I will tell you that this is one of the biggest things that I tend to do is I fall into a category of just really want to make sure that you guys have the tools and everything to dive into. So, to dive into the different programs. Now, with me, I do have a family. I'm a married guy with three children, and I will tell you, I'm looking forward to helping as many families out there that I possibly can, and those who are actually just trying to get their life started for all that, for as far as that goes. So that's a little bit about me. You heard a little bit about Chad. Chad, you ready to dive into the presentation?
Yeah, let's roll. So the next thing we're going to talk about today is what we will cover is the difference between lease to purchase, rent to own, and owner financing. Who our programs are designed for. They're not for everybody, but they're usually a perfect fit for those who, are going through an increase in rent or a life changing event. We'll talk a lot about that, and then also, what are the program qualifications? How long does it take to move in and get your new home? That's a big deal. And where can I live? So where does this program work for you? And then what does the approval and home shopping process look like, as well as how do you apply? So after that, we'll talk a little bit about some of the free stuff that we've put together for you as well. Moving into the first uh, section here, we're going to talk a little bit about owner financing, lease to purchase, rent to own, and I believe. Uh, Let me go back. Yeah. So Tyler, if you want to take on that part for us, tell us a little bit
Yes.
about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So just to kind of go in, owner financing, lease to purchase, and rent to own. These are things that you need to know a little bit of the difference between each of them. Okay, they all do have a significant difference. We're going to talk about different companies that we work with to get you into this. Okay. So, by the way, before I dive into this a little further, I just want to let you know those of you that are in here right now, sticking around to the end, you will receive a ebook for a lot of this for lease to purchase and rent to own. So just stay with us to the end, and we'll get you that ebook for sure. Okay. By the way, go ahead right now if you haven't already. I want you to go ahead and hit. Let's just do the number one. Give me a number one in the box just to let me know that you want that ebook. Okay. Because if you want that ebook, I'm going to send it out to you as soon as we get done with this. Like I said, just give me a number one. All right. So with that being said, you see all the ones coming in, chat. Um,
Yeah.
so I knew the book would be popular. So, anyways, as I come through this, just want to talk. Like I said, I'm going to go off the cuff here with owner financing. Chad, do we got a slide for that, or do I? Because I just want to know if I got to go through the next step before I move forward.
No, you're good.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the
This
main
is
thing.
where we're at. Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure I didn't talk ahead of anything. So owner financing, basically, the biggest takeaway from this is that owner financing is what people actually get confused about when it becomes rent to own or lease to purchase. The reason why they're confused about it is because they think that they're doing owner financing. So owner financing is totally different. Owner financing means that you are taking a mortgage from the seller, not the bank, which then in return has usually a higher interest rate and a higher down payment than what you would even get from a regular bank. And the reason why people do this is because sometimes they have the opportunity for cash flow. Uh, they have cash flow, whatever, in their account to be able to do this versus a traditional way. Um, for whatever reason, maybe they think their credit score is bad. There's a lot of reasons people go to owner financing. That'll be a whole nother video. But I will tell you this is that owner financing will cost you more upfront and more long term and get you less of what you want. Okay. So that's what you need to know for owner financing in the shoes of trying to get a home. Okay. So if you're trying to find your road back to home ownership, whether you have already been in home ownership once before and had to get out for whatever reason, or B, you're looking to actually just get into a home for the first time. So, in the rent to own situation, okay, you'll have programs that have payments usually between like 1% to 2% down. So you're not talking that in like owner financing where you're going to probably have to put down 20%, 15%, something of that nature. Okay, with a rent to own, you can do like 1% to 2% down. Every program is going to be different. It depends on the program that it goes with. And also, depending on the program, The mortgage can even be an assumable FHA loan. So therefore, whatever your interest rates are today, you can get it later. You can get that same interest rate without having to worry about interest rates going to the sky, and stuff where they're at today. So that's an option for an assumable mortgage. That's all that really means, is that basically whatever the mortgage is today for interest rates, and if the interest rates keep going up, then you can assume that mortgage based off of FHA loan and take that over with that regular interest rate. You don't have to keep, go to a new interest rate. So that's, and again, it depends on which program that you're going to be able to qualify for. Um, for basically a traditional mortgage, which is, it's almost like you get FHA loan in a regular traditional way, you're going to be putting down 3.5%. Usually, okay, so you're going to put down 3.5% of the purchase price, as opposed to one of these programs that you could qualify for, you could possibly do 1 to 2%. Makes it a lot easier for you to
Yeah, my name is Brad.
get
Oh,
into.
sorry.
You could definitely get into that. So one of the things I'm going to throw out there at you right now is that I want you to make sure that you know that when you go to do this, is that you select. We're going to select based off of what program is going to fit you the best. Okay, so don't worry about that. We're going to help you make those decisions based on what you tell us and what we think that you can qualify for in those programs. Okay. It is, your payments will be credited based and can be determined by an interest rate. Okay. The major plus to this is, although the payments will be higher, a portion of the payment, generally, depending on which program, goes toward that down payment, if you will, okay, or that closing cost that you have to have in the future or whatever. So these are things you can think about when you're making these choices and when we lay out all your options to you, because you're going to have several options at this point. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to throw out at you is there's also a thing called lease to purchase. Yes, it's different from rent to own. Lease to purchase, okay, is going to be 2 times the amount of rent, is what that's going to be. So in other words, if your rent, just as an example, is $2,000 a month, you're going to put $4,000 down, okay, and then from $4,000 down, you're going to then pay your first month's rent 72 hours before you move in. There's different programs that offer lease to purchase. And then none of the money that you pay is actually going to go toward anything. You just get the option to buy. Okay. Now, that's essentially what it is. And it'll be a predetermined amount. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise on what you're going to buy it for. And that's with any of the programs. They're all going to be predetermined amount based on when you go in, you pay for it, and we'll lay those options out for you. Okay. So I know there's several programs that I can tell you about that do different things. There's Home Partners of America. There's Trio. There's Landis, and I think Chad uses one over in Texas called Divvy. Is that correct, Chad?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So Chad is using Divvy over in Texas. Chad, I mean, I'll let you go ahead and go into the whole spiel with that a little bit, just to
Yeah.
give what your experiences have been.
Um, they've been absolutely terrible. No, I'm just kidding. They've been amazing. So I have some clients that have basically used the program a couple times. It's more for people who um, have a 550 or a better credit score. For example, there's also Home Partners of America is another rent to own program across the nation. They require a 600 credit score. So I like Divvy because it does allow people that have a little bit of a lower credit score to kind of get up and going. Um, and it helps them build their credit through a savings program, a small savings program. You barely even see the money disappear from your rental payment, but it does get tucked away on your behalf automatically, an automatic payment system that goes away for you to use it later when you want to purchase the home. That's the trick. So, people always get a little confused with rent to own, and we're here to squash some of that. You get all this money back. Yes, it's a little bit extra on top in the meantime, but I'd rather see that money go somewhere useful for you later so you can go back and reach into that. And you don't even see it missing really. It's just like, and you get it back. So Divvy is really good for that. and you can purchase a home at the end. Did you want to say something, Tyler?
Yeah, I just want to ask actually. So Divvy is one of those that are actually false. It's not a. It's, just to be clear to the audience. So Divvy is actually one of the ones for rent to own and not a lease to purchase, which is
Right.
which to be honest with you, I'm a big fan of the rent to own. But there's options for everybody. It just depends on their situation, right? So, like for
Yeah,
example, just one thing I forgot to mention a while ago: the lease to purchase. If they're going with that, like with home partners, it goes out up to 5 years with not even an obligation to buy. Okay, the obligation is for a 12-month lease essentially. Now the other ones you have leases and so forth, but the terms may be different depending on your situation.
that's kind of how this one is. Yeah, I mean, and then you can almost call it either way. It's funny in this case, lease to purchase, because later on you can buy it. I mean, you're still able to purchase it, or you can walk away, no obligation, as long as you give them a 60-day notice. So give them a 60-day notice, you get your money back minus a listing fee. So Tyler and I make our salary from helping people make a move, and that's why we provide these educational courses for people, is because we want the public to understand our position. And so that's if you move out early, I get that question a lot. It's just a matter of just negotiating that with them. They're pretty straightforward up front. You'll get all the paperwork up front, what your purchase price will be if you decide to stay, or what you're going to be losing if you decide to leave before a 12-month lease is up. Most people stay the 12 months just because it's obviously easier, and then it takes a little while to build your credit anyway. And we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. We have programs where we can help you build your credit just by showing the fact that you pay rent. Nobody else can do that. I don't know if anybody else is going to tell you that. Ask us if you want that link. Go ahead and drop a one in the chat box. We'll shoot you that link over right now as well. Go ahead, Tyler, on to the next one.
Oh well, I was going to let you kind of go into the but that's all right.
Only
I got it right here. I forgot that I had labeled it out there. So we've got notes, guys. I promise you, we got notes. It's just trying to go through this.
It's
So
all good.
I'll kind of speak to this last one. I'll let you take the remainder there of that section. So um, basically, it's who is these type of programs designed for. Um,
Oh, you meant this one. Yeah.
yeah. So just let me kind of get. I'm going to shrink myself on the screen so you guys can get a good full view of this. So check this out. I mean, you got first time home buyers, small business owners, 1099 workers. Yeah, there you go, Chad. Perfect.
Check these out.
I mean, this is
Uh,
the way to kind of look at this. It's designed for a lot of people that need the extra help. I mean, look at this. Look at this one alone. I mean, this one right here. I think
fluctuating income.
was that
Yeah.
yeah fluctuating income. I mean, this one's a huge one. I'm gonna make myself a little bigger if people can't see me. But I will tell you, this one's a really good one for the people that have that fluctuating income because of whatever the case may be. I mean, this program is really good for that. First time home buyers that may be working that may not have the best credit score or whatever the case may be. That's a possibility. I mean, there's all kinds of different people. Like I said, low credit scores, maybe you don't have enough in savings for the down payment, relocation. Maybe you're trying to basically go to an area that you're not really 100% on if you want to be there or whatever, but you need to be there for, let's say, a job or whatever because it's close to a job. Maybe there's somewhere in the vicinity that you want to, kind of try out, if you will, right? And maybe that's where that lease to purchase would almost be for that relocation that may not be familiar with that market area. Concerns with the market. People right now are going crazy. Oh, we're not sure if we want to buy. We're not 100% sure because we're waiting on the market to crash. Listen, guys, and I'm not going to go in too far deep into the weeds with this, but I'm just going to say and state my opinion based off of what I look at. And Chad, I'm sure will agree with me on this. Your market, there's a whole history lesson of why the market, in my opinion, is not going to crash, and it has a lot to do with predatory lending and so forth. But what I will tell you is, if you're one of those people that are thinking that's going to happen, that this program is for you because this will stabilize your rent and give you no obligation on the lease to purchase if you qualify for that. So there's all kinds of different ways to look at this. But just so you know, that's where we're at with that. And I'll kind of let Chad speak to the to the remainder here. But I just wanted to say that part right there.
No, that's true. First time home buyers, this is perfect for you because you get to see the process without actually having to go through the process all the way. The way it works is these are cash offers. They're getting dropped on the table, which trumps any offer on 99% of the time. It trumps any other offer on the house. So you're getting ready to move within 3 weeks to 4 weeks after just applying. Like get ready to go look at houses. That's kind of what we're going to talk about here in a second. And so, what you need to do to qualify for the program as well, it depends on if you're a self-employed 1099 worker. I work with a lot of small business owners. We do bank statement loans, cash flow loans. They look at that as well as income here in the Divvy Home program here in Southern Texas. I don't know, Tyler, do you guys work with business owners over there like ourselves?
Yeah, yeah, we sure do. We deal with
Okay.
business owners and just different folks in the area.
So it's a very agnostic program, and that's why I really enjoy telling people about it. I mean, I wish I would have known about this sometimes before I bought my house. I mean, it's just it is what it is. But there's definitely a cool advantage to this. Once you get the ebook and we finish up this course today, feel free to let us know if you have any questions. Obviously, while we're going through this as well. Let's move on to the next part. I think. Let me make this a little bigger there. So, what are the qualifications? So qualifications: verified household income, at least $30,000 minimum. In Southern Texas, I want to say at least $40,000 minimum. 36,000 is kind of a baseline, because you're going to have to look at something what they call DTI. What is that wonderful word? That is for don't do it again. No, I'm just kidding. DTI is debt to income ratio, and that is something. Let's say I have a truck, and then I went and bought another truck, and then I went and bought a car, and then I went and bought another truck. Does it sound like I need all that? Does it sound like I'm kind of maxed out already? Do I have four arms and legs that just I'm going to drive all these vehicles at the same time? No. Don't max out your stuff if you don't have to. I mean, I understand we all have problems. We all have our stories to tell. We all have things we have to deal with on a daily basis. But now walking into this program, they're going to look at that, and it does do a hard pull on your credit. Point is, you want to at least have around 48 to 50%, let's say half and half, what I usually tell my clients is try to push down your credit numbers in terms of usage on your credit cards. Your revolving credit is what that's called. Needs to come down probably around 30 to 40% usage on each card. Nothing over 50%, you know, two or three times over is on any credit line that you have, right? That means credit lines, credit cards. That's not going to fly. So you're going to kind of waste time and pull a credit if you know that you're a little upside down right now. But just know that this webinar is for that reason, to educate you about this. Go ahead and start getting on a payment plan. If you need credit repair assistance, we haven't even talked about that today. That's not what this is about, but we do have credit repair programs that will make you look good on paper. That's their job, to make the numbers look pretty for the bank, and we can help you with that. Okay. You need at least a 550 credit score here in Southern Texas. I don't know what it is. What's it for you over there in Florida?
Right now, it's uh, I have to go back and take a look
Is
again.
it? I think Landis is 550, right? You told me.
Yeah, well, Landis is 550, but they just changed Home Partners to 620, and they had another change recently. But I'm going to say Home Partners is that, and then also Trio, I think, is around 580 right now.
Okay. And what he's talking about, guys, I know it sounds like a foreign language over here, but he's talking about the names of these companies. So these are big national companies that we work with. We're just representatives of the services that they provide as a local real estate expert in your backyard. At the end of the day, my point is, we'll talk about where we can apply all these different programs and all this and that. For me here in Southern Texas, you need at least 550 to walk in the door. Now, another fact that I just learned a couple weeks ago blew my mind. So Austin, Texas is a wonderful, wonderful place to live. A lot of people moving from California and overpopulating the place. We won't go down that rabbit hole. But This program doesn't work there. This program does not work in Austin, Texas. Works in San Antonio, works in Houston. I believe it even works in Dallas. But anyway, there's pockets sometimes that we have to look at. So I'll move on. So you get all that. So 2.5% in savings. What that means is you need at least, let's just throw a number out there, at least $4,000 to $5,000 in a savings account somewhere to run into this program. And I say that because, first of all, let's back up a second. Let's say your lease is about to expire next month or in the next 6 months, and you're tired of the place you're living because they've increased the rent. Sound like most of you guys in here probably. So when you go to move somewhere else, here's what you're going to run into. You're going to find either you're going to have to downsize your requirements. If you're in a 3-bed, okay, that's gone. If you want to stay in the same price range. If you're in a 3 or 2-bed apartment, you're going to have to go down to maybe a 1 or 2-bed apartment, first of all, for maybe even an equivalent or a less of equivalent area, or maybe a little bit better of an area, right? Let's hypothetically say then rent is still 1,500, and they're going to walk up to you and say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Renter, we want you to go ahead and give us a first month deposit down, which is $1,500, and then you know what, your credit score is under a 600. We're going to go ahead and ask you for a double deposit. You're going to say what? So you're going to need $6,000 just to get into another rental. I mean, let's just be real. This program allows you to walk into an entire house with a backyard for the same price. That's why we want to educate you guys on what the value is here. And you're building equity? What? Okay. I mean, where does this end? So, there's then you got the economy trying to switch gears on us. We're all aware of that. This kind of it locks it in. That's what Tyler was alluding to earlier. It locks it in a little bit. And so anyway, no bankruptcies last couple of years, no felonies. For I think it varies. For me, it's last 2 years. Tyler, it's up to 5 years over in Florida. They're a little more strict in Florida. And then no delinquent on evictions. So no evictions as well for the last 2 years for me. And I think how many years is it for you, Tyler? 5 or 3?
Yeah, it's the 5 year mark.
Okay, so a little more strict in Florida, not a big deal, still doable. We all try to be good citizens these days, I would imagine and hope. And then what else we got to talk about on this one?
So basically, basically the biggest thing that I want to tell you is also looking at you already I see you went over the eviction stuff, but also the bankruptcies too. That's one of the things Chapter 7 must be a completed charge off. Chapter 11, you must have all the payments per your judgment on time. This is key, guys. This is kind of the bigger key to this is that it's got to be on time. That's the number one thing when it comes to your Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Okay, and also, of course, paid off without any issues. Okay. Now, your savings with this, what's going on is that you're saving as low as 2 times the rent with HPA, which is a lease to purchase. You're doing at least 1 to 2% with another program called Trio, which is like a RTO, which is rent to own. And then Landis is also another program that allows you RTO, which is rent to own, which is that possible 2 to 3%. And then I think Divvy, Chad, you'll have to kind of chime in here. But Divvy, what's the percent down with Divvy?
1 to 2%.
So 1 to 2% on Divvy. Okay, so there's just depending on the situation of where you're at. I just want to make sure that everybody is very aware of the percentage and where you're at with that. Now, he just kind of went into the the criminal side of things with the no felonies and so forth. So I think we took all that. You can't be on any type of watch list, whether you're a sex offender of any kind. That's just what these programs particularly offer. That you can't be in those type of program or those type of watch lists for you to be part of the program that they offer. Okay, um, just to kind of throw this at you, how right now, just to kind of go into more of this whole qualifications and everything else that we're doing. Um, I know that we're trying to buy within, like Chad said, in certain areas where he's at, but over here where I'm at, we actually ran it. I'll tell you a little quick story. is I ran into a little bit of an issue with basically like septic tanks, right? So we ran into an issue to where they made some changes in all the programs where septic tanks are an issue for certain particular programs. Now that's not all of them, but certain ones, and they made changes of that. So what I end up doing, and this was with Landis. So they first told us no septic tanks whatsoever. That's what they originally told me. But Chad, and just in case this is in your area, I'm not sure if septic is a big thing in your area. But one of the things that happened with me is that I was able to pull an addendum out that I've used in the past for septic tanks and so forth. So because I've been able to use those as an addendum in the past, it's been one of those things where they looked it over with their legal team and they looked it over with the people powers to be in their side, and they said, yeah, we can use that. So now I got septic tanks back on the market, or basically houses with septic tanks back in the equation for them to actually purchase. So that has been a big a big deal as far as when it comes time to area and stuff. Because in one of the areas that I'm in, you're talking 90% of the population is on septic tank. So that makes a big,
Right.
big difference. So, is that something you've ran into though, Chad?
Not really. No, not like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, it's a little sidebar story, but I wanted to
Yeah.
share that with people because there is not everything is going to be acceptable, and that there's many reasons why these companies they're the buyer and the original buyer, I should say, and it's got to meet certain criteria and so forth. So that just something to think about in that perspective. And go ahead, Chad. I know I probably left off somewhere, skipped to something.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah. So, how long does it take? So once the application phase is in, 4 to 7 days, and then after that you go shopping. We look for a home. So it's kind of like when you may have found an apartment, or if you've been on a home search before, we'll schedule a tour together and we'll partner up and shoulder up with you. We go around in our vehicles looking at houses, and then once you find one that you love, within that same night or that evening. Usually, I'll work. I pretty much work more than I care to admit these days, but it's for you guys. And so I'll go home. I'll work with Divvy. We'll submit an offer that day. Um, if not the next morning, they'll put an offer in on that property for you. And then you're closing within 3 to 6 weeks. You're starting to pack boxes. You're having excitement. You're talking about what you're doing in your life. You're making a big change, a big chapter opening up for you, a new beginning. And that's what we're going to help you with, is transition all that in a safe and sound environment. So next, we're going to talk about where is this opportunity available. I think Tyler, that's on you.
Yeah. So and I'm gonna shrink. I gotta shrink myself on this one. Oof.
You can't see nothing.
Yeah, it's in on there. And we love this program. It's kind of cool. We can have fun with it as we're doing these presentations. It's nice.
Yeah.
So listen, I know that one of the biggest things is to kind of show you just based on what's on screen is kind of a screenshot that was taken to where we can show the different cities that we do, that we can do business. And these are all metro areas. I mean, if there's areas around there, we can do those as well. Not everything's listed up here, but this is basically a little bit of a idea, if you will, like right here, just to kind of show you. This is right next to where I'm doing business, right in my backyard, so to speak, Fort Myers, Florida. So you guys can get an idea. And I'm just looking around on here, and I'm sure. Look, Chad, you got Dallas right over here on this side of
Yep.
the screen. So I mean, there's tons of places that you can do business. And again, this is just metro cities that have been selected to take a look at, essentially, to know where you can actually do businesses. So I think this is just to give you guys an idea. We actually have, if there's a certain house or an address you've already been looking at. Now, remember, let me actually, before I say this, because I want to make sure this is clear because I get this all the time, is people are bringing me rentals and they're like, hey, I really like this rental. The problem is these are not rentals. These are houses that are actually for sale that get bought. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're bringing me a rental and you're telling me you like that, that's just a regular rental. That's not a lease to purchase. That's not a rent to own. That's not anything that I can help you with. Okay. So what you need is to get approved for the program so we know where you're at. So that is the most important thing, is to go through and get actually approved. Now, with that being said, Chad, I'm going to leave you to the approval and the home shopping process there.
Okay. Yep. So we've got so basically we become your right hand man, so to speak, your teammate, your partner, whatever you want to call it. The person shoulders up with you to make sure that this is as successful and stress free as possible. We help you determine the budget and the areas and the home requirements. We schedule the home tours. Um, we get the offers going, like I just talked about a few minutes ago, and then inspections and appraisals. We want to make sure the house is safe and secure, kind of like the story that Tyler was sharing with us earlier. We want to make sure that everything that you get is what you're paying for. Even let's say the foundation is bad after you move in. What happens then? Oh my God, what is going to happen now? So what happens is after you move in, um, they every city has a local contracting company that these bigger companies partner up with, and they're pretty good about coming out and fixing anything that goes wrong. Inspections is part of the preliminary process, but I also want to give you guys peace of mind to know that even after all this stuff, and we're just now getting to know each other, there's still the long journey of living there, right? Like what's going to happen after you move in. So that's part of this whole program. They're very good about maintaining that relationship with you as well, not just kind of getting your shoe in the door. This isn't just another sales call. This is it. This could be your bread and butter right here if you work it out with us, and we, go and show you some houses and all that. The closing process is pretty straightforward. We'll pick a day for you and your family to kind of gather up and move into the house, and then on that same day is usually, there's a lot going on. Of course, it's a busy season now, becoming for what we're going through, and you're going to pack up everything, move it over, and that's it, and then make ready. Period. So you get one. There's one person. This is kind of what I was just talking about. One partner. They have a partner in each city that they work with, and then they, as in my case, it's Divvy, Tyler, it's Landis, Trio, these other companies. They have a partner that they can work with to make sure that everything is up to date, whether it's paint, whether it's carpet, whether it's the refrigerator needs to be replaced, whether it's the burner in the stove is out, whether it's the light up in the ceiling is out, or we came across something random that we haven't discovered yet or talked about in the inspection or appraisal process. And then you move into your new home. After we get all those things squared away, good to go. So how same for you, Tyler?
Yeah, so it's like when it's move-in day, it's move-in day. So that's
Yeah.
the best part. Everybody's, by the time we go through the long, there's a little bit of a lengthy process just to get to the point of move-in day. So I know people are like really, really ready to go. And so with that being said, I know that everybody on this call is just, you're ready to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is for me. Maybe I can figure it out. How do I apply? That's what you're looking for, right? Well, I'm going to wrap this up in just a few minutes. I definitely want to go into some Q&A with some people, but I will tell you this: you're going to get. I will make sure that you'll have the opportunity to go through and be able to get a contact with me or Chad, depending on where you're at. And by the way, just to throw this out there too, I don't know if we made we when we did the other webinar, we brought this up, and now we're on our second, third one of this webinar. So just so you know, okay, I will tell you this: is that doesn't matter where you are located, does not matter in the United States. If you're in the United States, we have partners in every state. We have partners that are out there working with us in Pennsylvania, California, Illinois. I mean, go through the list. We got all the states covered. Don't worry. So just know that's not going to be an issue when that time comes. Also, I know Chad brought it up earlier on. I just want to reemphasize this. We have a program that can help you with your rent that you're currently paying and give you credit if you've done on-time payments, and give you credit towards your credit score to help boost that up. And You do have to pay for it. But the good news for you guys are because you attended this webinar today, we're actually going to offer a $25 off on that program by actually since you attended this, and basically you're going to get $25 off on that with our code. Chad has, I'll give you his code and I'll give you mine. However you guys got here, you'll know once you're at the end of this. So just to kind of throw that in there, Chad, did you have anything? Do you want to conclude before we take Q&A?
Uh, no, I'm excited for you guys. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity. Yeah, no, I don't have anything else. We can go Q&A.
Okay.
Who
Well,
we got
go
here?
ahead and start asking your question. I know some of you guys have been asking a few questions throughout this thing, so now's the time I'll be able to kind of go through here and look and see what we can see what questions we can answer.
Rhonda says, "Hey, can I buy a condo?" Oh, that's a good question. So it depends on the program. With Divvy Homes, you cannot purchase a condo. Most of the time, they do have to be a single family residential home. Um, but if you're interested, I do have programs away from this one. Just hit me up offline. Is there another question? Let's see. What is the price range that I can buy? Um, well, for here in San Antonio, it's 415,000 up to, depending on your income and your debt to income ratio and your credit score. Tyler.
Yeah. Let me just see here. I was reading through some of these questions. So give me a second. It says, "I have a dog. Are these programs pet friendly?" Guess what? I got to tell you, if you have animals as pets and dogs and cats and whatever else, they are pet friendly, guys. They are friendly, and believe it or not, I know on certain programs there's no. There's like what's the word I want to say? There's no discriminating against the dog, like the breed is what I was trying to say. So, they don't have breed restrictions on some of these programs. So I think that's a huge one. Just to throw that out there. Oh, one other one I want to address. It looks like, by the way, that question came from Ronnie. I apologize. I didn't name the person. Good question, Ronnie, on regards to the animals. Over here, it looks like this is I cannot see what the side of me is there. Okay, that this one's. Oh, Chad, you're gonna like this. A Chad over there. You got another Chad in the call here. It says, "What if I decide to not to buy after moving in?" That all depends on the program that you're in. If you're in the lease to purchase, most of the time, and again, depending on which program, but most of the time, if you're in lease to purchase, there's not a penalty for that. But if you're in a rent to own, they could be a small penalty for that. It just depends on which program that you're going to be in. If that helps answer that, uh, you know,
Is there an application fee from Jasmine? Is there an application fee? There's no, actually, Divi's free. It's a 5 minute application process. Just have your documents in a row so you can upload them. That means if you're a employee, you're going to have W-2 tax statements and 2 months of bank statements, I believe. So just show that you make income, basically.
and one other question I see here is Tammy. She is saying that see she just moved here to the area. Can I? She just wants to rent. Basically, she just wants to rent. So Tammy, just to let you know, you may be more. Based on that, you may be more looking at at least a at least a purchase because if you just moved here to the area and you want to test things out, test the waters out with no obligation, there's different programs that you could qualify for that lease to purchase. Okay, so just make sure that you guys are aware of that.
Looks like one more. We'll take one more, and then after that, we'll wrap it up. It's going to be which one? Do you take Section 8? No, unfortunately, the programs do not work with Section 8. What we can do is hit me up offline after this call, and I can, if you're in Texas, I don't know. We'll talk about it. Just hit one of us up, and we can figure out how we
Yeah,
can help you get into something over there.
yeah. Because to be honest with you, with the Section 8, I will tell you this, and I know that. It's harder to say, but I will say that it's a more difficult situation. But there is one program in Florida that could possibly take Section 8, but I can't make no guarantees. I'll have to, like Chad said, we'll have to talk offline when we talk to you to see what the situation is and see how we can best assist you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Sorry, I forgot to.
Yeah, you
Okay,
know,
well let's wrap it up, I guess, and then what else? Oh, we were gonna send you guys ebooks. So if you didn't do it earlier, go ahead and put a one in the chat box right now. Again, if you want an ebook, some people came in late, which is fine. And then also anything else we're missing?
just put it if you guys are looking for everything. I want to make sure that you guys go ahead and since we already used one, go ahead and put a two in there if you want the code for the rent to be accepted as your to help boost your credit score for the program. Okay, so if you want that, we'll make sure we get you all the information. That's all I have, Chad. Anything else you want to add?
No, thank you guys for your time and for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. I think we've been very successful in figuring out, how we can help you guys be homeowners.
That's it. So, hey, like I said, make sure you tell a friend to help other people pay it forward and let them know that we'll be here to answer any questions they have. Until next time, thank you guys very much.